Yeah, I think we have not a long time, but a while back. Yeah. Yeah, I had the show down at the White Cap, I think. Weren't you there for that?
No, I was at and there was
Okay, Ron, maybe you walk us through some of your photographs and
Okay, well, this picture here is done on the Stornetta lands, and it was done before Sally Jewell, the Secretary of the Interior, came out here. And she now has this picture. It was a 20 by 30, and it was hanging in her office. Now, Sally Jewell was the Secretary of the Interior when Obama was president.
yeah.
This picture here was done about a year ago up in Yellowstone. And there's a long story behind this, but I'll keep it short. Anyway, I followed this fox for a while. And then I was using a 400 millimeter lens. I was up on top of a snowbank, and he had his back to me, and I cleared my throat. And as soon as I cleared my throat, he turned around and looked at me, and I took about 3 or 4 shots.
Nice one, I like it.
This one was
I
done
really like this one. There's sort
Well, you
of a
have
mood
good-
to that.
You have good taste. Believe it or not, this is behind the depot in Fort Bragg. I know it looked. I had people tell me it looked like it was done in the Midwest or the South or something, but I call it tracks. It's a little bit different than most of the work I do. It leans towards the work I want to do, which is more social consciousness. And anyway, I entered this show into a show in Carmel that was being judged or juried by the curator for the Washington Museum of Art. I forgot the name of the gallery, but anyway.
Washington, D.C.
D.C. And he accepted it, and it's now in the catalog. So I'm very happy about that. This one is titled 3 Seconds, and I was experimenting, and I wanted to do something along the lines of moving the camera while I took the exposure. And the thing is I wanted to do it differently.
It looks like pastels.
It almost does, yeah. I agree with you. This was actually done behind the Art Center down by the Walla River. And this is a grove of acacias. And I had the camera on the tripod about eye level. And then I saw what my exposure was going to be. So when I took the picture, I actually lowered the camera down for 3 seconds, and that was the result. However, what I did is I then used a little creative nonsense and went in.
Different filters and all on it.
I actually took all the green vegetation and turned it red because I thought it was more striking, and it had kind of a trepidation to it. I thought, relating to the fires.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, absolutely.
This one here is, there's a friend of mine who lives in Ukiah. He has a nephew that lives. This I did over in Nevada. I was coming down from Bridgeport on the Nevada side of Bridgeport Lake. And I got behind this whole herd of sheep that were going into Wellington, Nevada. And the thing was, I was stuck behind it, but I thought, boy, what an opportunity to get a photograph of something I don't see out here on the coast. So I actually photographed this with a long lens, and it was through the windshield of my car.
Wow.
And I worked on it to clarify it and what have you, but I did not know that the sheep was relieving himself at the time I took the photo. But everybody seems to appreciate it and really like it. And so it's become very successful for me. This picture here is I call it Ice Fog. I did this out in Mono Lake, and this took.
That looks like Mono Lake.
Yeah, this took first place at one of the Art in the Redwoods for black and white photography or monochromatic photography. Now that ice fog, everything that it touches just crystallizes and turns very frosty looking. Now the thing about it is that the Shoshone and the Paiute who live out there called this a pogonip fog, so I originally called it pogonip. But nobody could understand what that was, so I put it here, ice fog.
Yeah. I wondered about the word myself.
Yeah.
Okay, Walt, maybe you can walk us through a few of your pieces and tell us what interested you about that How did it come about? Any inspiration?
Okay,
Whatever you
well-
can think about.
I work in silver and gold, and I cast in water, I cast in straw. Gives me some unique one-of-a-kind pieces. I also hand fabricate, like this lighthouse over here. It's a bottle topper, and it can be unscrewed, and it's also can be used as a table ornament.
Oh yeah.
And then I did the jellyfish, like this one's here. These are hand fabricated out of sterling silver, and they have diamond pave tooling texture on the top to give it that sparkle finish. And then I have these drusies, like this one here. It's called an opal druzy. It's not opals, it's just the color. And this is a water cast piece, and it kind of looks like an octopus holding it. Here's another one that's just in a frame. These like this black onyx bracelet, I've actually taken the texture off a sea urchin shell, and then I've cut it while it's in the wax to create that shape for the bracelet. And I carve waxes. These are all carved wax pieces, and also so is the sea turtle. And then I do a lost wax process to cast those up. And
Which is a lost wax one, like in here?
the turtle is the original. I carved wax, and then I made a mold, and then I pulled the wax and then cast it. The starfish here, same thing. I made a mold of a real starfish, then pull waxes and I cast those. So those are lost wax. A lot of these rings, not the spinner rings, but this ring and this ring are both lost wax.
That ring that you had in your the ICO article, which looks like a sort of purple opal in a pool of where is
Diamonds,
that one?
I
Yeah.
don't have, that's sold.
Oh.
That was a 2-carat tanzanite, and that was a lost wax casting. And then I put a head in it for the 2-carat tanzanite, and then I channel set the diamonds down around and down the side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Walt.
Okay.